Hi, and welcome to the Bankers Leadership Series in association with IBM. I'm Joy McKnight, Deputy Editor at The Banker, and I'm here today bringing together the major stakeholders in the financial services ecosystem, looking at innovation and also the future of banking.
Hi, I'm Francisco Lorca, Managing Director of Startup Bootcamp FinTech London.
Hi, Anthony Woolley. I run the technology teams for Societe Generale in London.
Hi, Carlton Hopper. I'm an IBM executive in the financial services industry platform business.
I'm Anne Bowden. I'm the founder and CEO of Starling Bank.
Hi, I'm Paul Taylor, CEO and founder of Thought Machine.
So what we've seen recently is sort of massive change within the financial services industry, really driven by an accelerating pace of change in technology. Some banks are having a difficult time actually keeping up. Anthony, can you say a little bit about Societe Generale and sort of how you're keeping up with the pace of change, especially when you have the legacy systems to deal with, as well as the new technologies?
Sure. Well, I think it's important to recognise, first of all, that every large bank does have significant legacy technology problems. Now, some of that is actually due to the complexity of our business. There is some complexity required in those systems, but a lot of it is due to the historical realities of acquisitions, investing in different technologies in different business lines. I think in the corporate investment banking business that I'm in, also you've had over the years quite innovative technologies applied, say, in the front office, often in different business lines at different times, maybe a much slower level of investment in the back office, and that creates a dislocation in the IS platform. So how do you deal with that? So I think fundamentally it's about taking a completely different approach to how we approach software engineering, how we develop our systems. It's important to get to a point where we can evolve and change those systems in an agile, flexible way as our businesses are going through its digital transformation. So practically speaking, what does that mean? I think it is important to embrace new flexible ways of engineering software. There are approaches such as continuous delivery in terms of agility and how you deliver flexible software at scale. It's about virtualizing your information systems by embracing cloud services, maybe at this stage in evolution, private cloud services for banks. I'm sure there will be public cloud services for banks deployed in due course. And also it's taking a different approach to the architecture of the systems. It's thinking more about building them in a service-orientated and a API-structured way rather than around specific systems. Once you have that, then that gives you an opportunity to leverage on innovations, external ideas, and other products within your overall environment.
Okay. But Anne, you've started Starling Bank, which got its banking license this year.
Yes.
But you don't have to deal with that legacy issue. But how do you keep up still with the pace of change in technology?
I have a lot of empathy for the traditional banks. They're dealing with a huge problem. Lots of systems from many years, lots of products against lots of customer groups through lots of channels. We have a very simple problem to solve. One sort of channel for one customer segment, and we can really focus on all the new technology on that one problem. And we believe that technology can enable sort of businesses like ourselves. We're all about technology. Most of our people working in the organisation are engineers, software engineers. And what we're trying to do is to take all the power of all the new technology out there in the marketplace, using very, very exciting development methodologies, continuous deployment methodologies, and agile working to address one problem and focus on that problem and deliver something very, very different from clients.
And Carlton, what do you think that banks are going to need to do in order to really succeed in this new environment?
Well, one observation I would make is sometimes the legacy works, so it works really well. The issue is it doesn't work in a cost-effective way, and increasingly I think the banks are finding it challenging to build on top of it. So what I would observe is there are many different strategies that organisations are taking. Some are looking to invest in replacing that legacy. And I think in certain sectors that will be a trend that will continue, and there will be solutions that will allow them to do that in the marketplace. But many are actually looking to how they can shrink wrap their legacy and build on top of it, if you will. So they sort of embrace the legacy but work out how to run it in a much cheaper, safer way, which is perhaps a strategy of not wanting to throw everything out, if you will. And I also observe that that many of the banks are looking to start again. You know, they are looking to build something from scratch, in some respects following the challenger market, to build something in parallel. And then that creates the challenge of how you then integrate or how you cannibalize your business. I think my observation would be I can't see a situation where all three of those strategies will not be all happening in the same time over the next few years. And I think it really depends on perhaps the nature of the business, because clearly if you are looking to cannibalize your business with a new service line, it really starts fundamentally with your business strategy and what your product plan, what your product offerings are. So my personal observation is I don't think there is a silver bullet. I think the combination of shrink wrapping your old and building on top, starting afresh, and I think some will boldly invest in trying to do very full-scale transformational, although I think the former two are going to be where most of the focus is going to be.
But Paul, is that where that is really where your business, that's its strength right there, is trying to replace the core systems? Are you finding a lot of take-up? Can you give us a bit of...
Yeah, I mean, it's, so in terms of legacy IT, but I think another word is kind of legacy functionality, that you know, can we provide the same services and products to an existing bank user, but actually get rid of all the legacy IT underneath? So there are many strands to it, and I think you've touched on it, and I think, as you said, many banks are pursuing all the strands at the same time. A pattern we're seeing emerging is build one part of the bank first in the completely end-to-end modern way. Now that could be, say, let's build a mortgage system from scratch, or let's build a current account system from scratch, and then get that, you know, on the cloud, agile development, you know, digital only. Can we do that and have all the regulatory functions and everything else built? Now that might only be 2% of a bank, but at least it's an end-to-end live working system. But it could be, let's focus on a particular demographic, or let's focus on a particular region. But so that's good, and that obviously the success of that would get buy-in into the business. So I think that's, you know, that's one way of at least tackling it. And so if you replace one legacy bit in that manner, then the question goes, well, you know, we've done it for 2% of the bank, can we do it for 10%, and you know, and so on. So the range of strategies by product, by demographic, but you know, but I haven't heard anybody saying we're going to do the whole thing in one go.
But Francisco, you have a lot of interaction with the fintech community. Is legacy, the bank's legacy systems, is that a real pain point for them when they're trying to work with the banks?
In some cases it is, but in most cases is the structure that's built around that legacy to protect and to run that legacy. So sometimes it's not so much what is actually the code and the technology, it's the actual fact that that technology is in production, and touching that technology can create an issue. And I agree so much with the point that some legacy is good. I mean, some legacy, some might be inefficient, but actually some of it is efficient, and some should stay on that part. I think in most of the cases with the very early stage startups, since they're not really touching yet the systems of the banks, it's more how to interface with the people that run them, more than the actual systems.